What if the most powerful man in Rome had to be killed, not by enemies, not rebellion, but Rome itself?
Rome is not burning, not invaded, not conquered, yet something inside it is failing in silence.
Greece. And the failure was no longer invisible. Grain stops arriving, and temples refuse fire, and soldiers return from borders speaking less. At first the Senate calls it coincidence, then miscalculation, then statistics, but the priests do not debate.
Because they already understand what others refuse to name. Rome is being rejected by the world that once obeyed it. Inside the Imperial Palace, the emperor stands alone at a marble window.
What ports arrive behind him? Eastern supply lines collapsed. Legions refuse movement without enemy presence. Animals reject sacrifice. And finally he speaks quietly, asking what a war becomes when there is no enemy.
Because the answer is too old to say out loud. Beneath the palace is a chamber no emperor enters willingly. A place not of governance, but correction, where the high priest waits, holding a ceremonial blade, not meant for war, but for resolution. The emperor descends alone, because even guards refuse instinctively. The priest speaks simply. Rome is out of balance. Rome has survived imbalance before. This is not imbalance, this is rejection. The emperor looks at the blade not as weapon, but as logic. And asks what Rome must pay. And the priest answers, everything that holds it together. Because Rome is not ruled by emperors. It is held together by structure. The emperor asks, if Rome is the system, what happens when the system targets its center? Listen. And the priest answers, then the center is removed, not destroyed, but the emperor steps forward, not as victim, but as acknowledgement. The ritual is not violence, it is procedure. The chamber does not echo, screams. It absorbs completion. And the final words are spoken quietly. Let Rome continue, without contradiction. Outside chamber, nothing changes visibly, yet everything inside the empire recalibrates. The priest exits alone. No announcement is made because Rome does not require language for structural decisions. Within hours, the Senate gathers, and the empty seat is accepted without question.
Storms, slow supply routes normalize. Uncertainty retracts. Not miracle, but correction.
Yet something remains in the minds of those who understand power. Rome survives not because strong, but because adaptive structure.
And so history records, no murder, no coup, no fall, only adjustment, only necessity, only
the final truth remains unspoken, but understood.
Power is not held. It is maintained through continuous correction of structure.
Even the emperor is not above sacrifice, because even the center of empire is part of the system.
And Rome continues, because something is always removed when imbalance returns and silence becomes the final law.